I've tried to build mechanical spiders in the past, but I've always failed, and I thought I was never gonna make it happen. But then I learned about a way you can actually make one by cheating. And you know I'm gonna have to try that out. And the way we're actually gonna do this is by using pistons. Now, my first thought of actually being able to do this is actually using a bunch of pistons that go a little something like this. I mean, when you think about how a leg moves, you're kind of just stepping over things over and over again. So I think this might even work. Now, we do got to make sure to activate these in the right order. So we're going to need a bunch of delays. All right, now I am going to have to go ahead and place very tiny blocks right here in between, or this entire thing is going to fall apart. All right, then here we go. Let's try it out to see how this leg would actually walk. So come on, flick the lever and... Okay, all right. Actually, you know what? The speed... Holy moly, wait! That is way too big. Okay, wait. Stop. Okay, piston length maybe like 2. And like the piston speed needs to be max. Okay, but let's try that one more time. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, wait. Okay, actually, the biggest problem here is that the delay time is set way too slow. 0.1. Right, there you go. That looks a little bit more like it. Now, look at how smoothly that leg right there is walking. Now, currently, it's only a single block, but that is gonna be an entire leg. All right, now I've got a feeling we can actually see how this thing will walk by simply doing this. So let's try this out. Drop the whole thing and then go. Oh God, okay. Currently, the weight is a little bit messed up, but I think if the weight was actually the exact same, it might work. Right now, the weight should be the same. Let's try it out one more time. Okay, it seems like we got to do a better job of actually balancing this thing. But I mean, if we did this with all 6 legs, I feel like this would actually work pretty well. So if I actually started to use anchor block to show you off a little bit better what it will look like, it'll look a little something like this. And then you take a step forward like so. And then you do your next. Both blocks are anchored. Oops. And yeah, you just take a step forward every single time. I think this is going to look absolutely amazing. All right, so after I've done a little bit of testing, and actually I cloned the entire thing 4 times, I'm pretty sure this right here is absolutely perfect. Look. We make a big step forward, and then we take a big step, back to, we got to return the feet back to where they were. Dude, we have just created a mech that is actually walking. Now, I currently don't know if the actual walking pattern is right, but it's looking really good. All right, so I did some troubleshooting, and look at this. Right now, this pattern should be perfect. So we're taking a step forward now. I actually slowed the entire thing down just so you can actually see what's happening. But as soon as it touches the ground, you pretty much start actually taking the step forward. All right, so let's see if this thing is actually going to walk. Here we go. Come on. Oh, wait, what? The piston speed is so slow. Okay, well, I thought it was a little bit faster, but let's see. Is this thing actually going to take a step forward? Please. Okay, wait. Okay, we're gonna need a little bit more grip, but that seems like it's actually gonna work. Dude, this thing looks so trippy. But yeah, besides the grip, this thing is actually freaking going. All right, everything seems to be perfect. Now, all we're gonna have to do is figure out how we're actually gonna make this thing a little bit more grippy. Oh my God, wait! I actually figured out the perfect way that you can give this thing like an infinite amount of grip. Now, I don't know how I didn't realize this sooner, but by using parachutes, you can actually make this thing walk perfectly. Oh my God. Now, I don't know if just making them invisible... Oops, I did not mean to do that. Like, I don't know if just making them invisible is gonna be enough to actually make the entire thing go away. But worst case scenario, I can always place that part under the ground. Transparency. Okay, let's see. Drop the whole thing and boom. Dude, look at this thing walking. It is literally beautiful. Now, it's not the fastest walker, but it's 100% reliable. All right, then. So now that we have this part, we're gonna obviously have to turn this into a spider, which currently, believe it or not, this looks nothing like a spider. But lucky for us, actually turning it into one is gonna be very easy. The only thing we're gonna have to start off with doing is making sure that this is all a little bit closer together. Just something like so. We want to make sure that these are just about not touching. And then, because a spider, of course, has 6 legs, not actually 4, we're gonna have to clone this entire thing just once more. Oh, there you go. Now, sadly, that does mean that I'm gonna have to redo all of these connections right here, but that shouldn't be too difficult. All right, so now this should be the exact same thing, but with 6 legs instead of 3. Or sorry, instead of 4. So, yeah, as you can see, this thing is walking perfectly. Actually, I don't think it's walking perfectly at all. I forgot to actually set up the parachutes. Oh, dude, this is such a rat nest of wires. Oh my God, dude. Okay, I think that should be good now. So now that we've made the walking mechanic, all we gotta do is build the actual spider legs. But like I said, we're gonna be cheating. And actually, this might even be the easiest part of the entire build. Now, I want my spider to be pretty big, so we're also gonna have to make some pretty big legs. All right, now, of course, a spider's leg has 2 joints, but we're kind of just going to cheat in the way we're going to build these. So yeah, for now, all we're going to do to build these legs is simply build 2 L joints like this. And of course, we're going to have to do this on both sides. But lucky for us, we can just clone these. There it is. That right there is all 6 feet made. And I made sure to actually line them up with where the actual feet are right there. But as you can see right here at the piston base, that is where the feet are actually connecting to the body. And actually, that right there is a little bit too low. So I made sure to create the exact same thing, just way up high. And actually, I'm gonna need a little bit more space to work with, so I'm actually gonna move them apart. All right, and now for actually cheating the mechanics. So what we're gonna do is we're just simply gonna place ourselves a servo on every single one of these legs. Actually, wait, I gotta place it the other way around. There you go. And then we want to make sure that with pistons, we can actually pull this entire thing back to where they should be. So this leg right here needs to be moved way back there. All right, so there it is. Now everything is lining up perfectly. Now we are actually going to need more than just 1 hinge right here. We're actually going to need 2, or actually, sorry, I think servo. Yeah, we're also going to need 1 horizontally. All right, that right there is looking pretty good. But now we're going to have to make sure that we can actually pull the legs together for every single one of these. So I've done the same for every single leg now, and all I need to do is simply add 1 more servo to every single one of these, and we should have a perfectly walking spider mech. And that servo is gonna go right here, right in the middle, just like so. Boom. Now, I do think I want to shrink this in just a little bit, just to give it a little bit more space, but that right there is going to be perfect. All right, there we go. So now all we got to do is make sure that these servos are connected to this part of the leg. Now, typically, when you're actually building a spider mech, or honestly, any kind of mech at all, the hardest part is actually doing all of these servos properly, but we're going to skip that entire step. And it seems like I actually made a slight mistake, because actually, we're going to need 2 servos here. We actually also need 1 that is rotated horizontally. And actually, now that I've gone ahead and done that, I'm realizing that I made the exact same problem, but here at the bottom. So I actually went ahead and connected the bottom of these feet to the actual feet of the mechanic, but it also needs a servo on there. So I'm going to have to add those too. And actually, the feet need 360 degrees of movement. So we're actually going to have to go ahead and make like proper hinges right here. So we're going to add 1 in that way and also 1 in that direction. So that way, the feet can rotate in all directions. All right, so now that I've done that, I can actually see how this is gonna look. So when I start retracting these pistons, dude, look at this. Because pistons are stronger than hinges, we can actually pull these hinges apart. Now, currently, I've perfectly balanced it so that the hinges are not actually getting torn apart, but that right there is our spider in the middle of walking. And if you don't believe me, let me show you. When I flick this lever, abada boom, here we go, dude. Let's start walking. And that right there is our spider actually freaking walking. Now, I'm going to quickly delete all these because we don't need them yet, because the actual build itself is currently actually anchored. But yeah, right here, we actually have a spider walking animation. And it does seem like I made 1 big mistake. And that is that these connection points are actually supposed to be in the middle right here. So right here and not back here. All right, let me go ahead and fix that real quick. So a little while later, and I've finally done it. I've got myself a working spider mech. Now, I've got a feeling this is going to be the best one I've ever made. But honestly, I don't really know that for sure because I haven't even really tried it out yet. So right here, as you can see, I made the actual mechanics we made invisible, but there is still a couple things you can see. So up there, you can see all of the stuff that actually retracts just because, I don't know, I thought it looked kind of cool. Like when you actually show all the mechanics, I don't know, it looks it looks a little bit crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it like this for now, but here we go. 3, 2, 1. I think all I'm gonna have to do is flick this lever right here, which pulls everything together. Okay. So as you can see, all of our legs are currently in place. Oh, and I accidentally dropped the main body. You know what? I actually kind of like the way it looks without the body, so I'm actually gonna just rock that instead. Actually, there it is. I gotta find this lever real quick, and when I pull it, 3, 2, 1, go! Here we go, dude. Look at that. We have a spider that is actually walking forward. Now, it's not the fastest mech, okay? If it would be a lot faster if I decided not to make this thing absolutely huge, but you know what? With it being absolutely huge, it's kind of cool as well. But yeah, as you can see right here, I actually put the things that like become the balloons, or sorry, not the balloons, the parachutes. I put those underground, and because of that, you don't even see them, but they actually allow to pull the whole build forward, dude. This is so sick. So wait, why is this one not pushed forward? Wait, that is supposed to be pushed out. All right, there it is. There you go. Unanchor again, and there it is. Now this thing will properly walk as well. Dude, I am so happy with how this thing turned out. And yeah, it's actually the first time I think I've ever seen a mech that is pretty much cheating with its mechanics. Now, one of the things I could have actually done is simply had a single piston here at the bottom that moves back and forward. Now, the actual animation of the legs wouldn't have been as cool, but it would have also been way less laggy, because currently this build is a little bit laggy, but dude, so worth it, man.